There was a summer in France that football has never quite finished talking about. The 12th of July, 1998. The Stade de France, France 3, Brazil 0. The first World Cup title in France's history. 2 headers in the first half from one man, a third in the dying seconds. 2 million people in the streets of Paris. The 22 players who made that happen have now lived nearly 3 decades of different lives since that night. Some became champions again as managers. Some became broadcasters, educators, and in one remarkable case, a professional racing driver. Some built quiet lives the camera stopped following. This is where all of them went. Aimé Jacquet built the squad after 2 consecutive World Cup absences in 1990 and 1994. The French press called for his removal throughout qualifying. He ignored it. What he assembled was multicultural in a way that reflected modern France as it actually was. Players born in Guadeloupe, New Caledonia, Senegal, Ghana, Algeria, all wearing the same shirt. They beat South Africa 3-0, Saudi Arabia 4-0, and Denmark 2-1 in the group stage. Laurent Blanc's golden goal eliminated Paraguay in the round of 16. Italy were beaten on penalties in the quarterfinal. Croatia fell 2-1 in the semifinal. Brazil 3-0 in the final. 6 wins, 1 draw, 15 goals, 2 conceded. 5 clean sheets. Every squad member except the 2 reserve goalkeepers played. Number 1 is Fabien Barthez, the starting goalkeeper. He was 26 and at Monaco. His command of his area and ability to read danger anchored a defense that conceded just 2 goals in 7 matches. He won the Yashin Award as the tournament's best goalkeeper. Before every match, Laurent Blanc would kiss the top of his bare head in the tunnel, a ritual that became one of the defining images of that summer. After Manchester United, 2 Premier League titles, and retirement from football in 2007, Barthez became a professional racing driver. He won the French GT Championship in 2013 and raced at Le Mans on multiple occasions. The goalkeeper, who kept 5 clean sheets, built his next career at 200 miles per hour. Number 2 is Bernard Lama, the first reserve goalkeeper and one of only 2 players who did not feature in the tournament. At 34, with experience from Paris Saint-Germain and West Ham United, he provided the depth every championship squad requires and remained in football through goalkeeping coaching after his playing career ended. Number 3 is Lionel Charbonnier, the second reserve goalkeeper, and the other squad member who did not play in the tournament. At Auxerre, he was a professional who understood his role within the hierarchy, supported the collective, and remained connected to the game through coaching after retiring from playing. Number 4 is Vincent Candela, the right back, 24 years old and at Roma, where he would spend 8 years and win the Serie A title in 2001. He played in the group stage match against Denmark and contributed to the squad throughout. Available records suggest that after his playing career ended, he moved into business, wine, and youth football, remaining a vocal presence in football media. Number 5 is Lilian Thuram, the right back, and the man who scored the only 2 goals of his entire international career in the same match, sending France to the World Cup final. In 142 appearances for France, Thuram scored exactly twice, both on the 8th of July 1998 in the Croatia semifinal. Suker had put Croatia ahead. Thuram equalized on a return pass from Jarkef, then 20 minutes later curled a left-foot shot from outside the box into the net. France won 2-1. A defender who had never scored for France scored twice in the same match when it mattered most, and never scored again. Born in Guadeloupe, he played for Monaco, Parma, Juventus, and Barcelona. After football, he became an activist and educator, founding the Education Contre le Racisme Foundation and writing multiple books on race and identity. His son Marcus Thuram now plays for Inter Milan in France. The right back who won the semifinal alone became, in retirement, a voice for human dignity. Number 6 is Laurent Blanc, the central defender who watched the World Cup final he helped create from the stands. Blanc was 32 and at Marseille. He scored the first golden goal in World Cup history against Paraguay in the round of 16. He was central to the win over Italy in the quarterfinal. Then in the Croatia semifinal, near the final whistle with France already ahead, he received a red card, 1 match suspension. The next match was the final. Frank Leboeuf started in his place. Blanc sat in the stands, watched France win 3-0 and never spoke bitterly about it. After football, he became one of the generation's most successful managers, the French league title with Bordeaux in 2009, the France national team between 2010 and 2012, multiple trophies at Paris Saint-Germain. Appointed at Al Ittihad in Saudi Arabia in July 2024, he won the league and cup double in his first season before being dismissed in September 2025. The man who watched the 1998 final from the stands has won more trophies as a manager than any other player from that squad. Number 7 is Marcel Desailly, the center back born in Accra, Ghana, and raised in France and at AC Milan. He arrived at the tournament already a Champions League winner with both Marseille in 1993 and Milan in 1994. Physical authority was his constant contribution. He received a red card in the final against Brazil, but France were already leading comfortably. After the tournament, he moved to Chelsea, then retired into broadcasting and football development work, particularly in Ghana. He remains a prominent figure in European football and appeared at the Laureus World Sports Awards in Madrid in April 2026. Number 8 is Frank Leboeuf, the the defender who stepped into the World Cup final when blank was suspended and delivered exactly what the moment required. At 29 and at Chelsea, his composure on the ball and reading of the game made him the right choice. After football, he moved into acting, appearing in multiple film and television productions, including a role in the 2018 film Theory of Everything, while also working as a football analyst across international media. Not every player from that squad followed the same road, but every one of them shares the same thing. The first star on the France shirt belongs to all 22 equally. Number 9 is Patrick Vieira, the midfielder born in Dakar and raised in France from age 8. He was 21 in 1998 at Arsenal, gathering experience. 4 Premier League titles, 3 Serie A titles with Inter Milan, and 107 caps for France followed. After retirement, he became a manager across New York City Football Club, Nice, Crystal Palace, Strasbourg, and Genoa, from which he was dismissed in October 2025. The young squad member of 1998 became one of the most widely traveled managers of his generation. Number 10 is Yuri Djorkaeff, the attacking midfielder, 30 years old and at Inter Milan. He made 82 appearances for France and scored 28 international goals, and his pass in the Croatia semifinal set Thuram free for the equalizer. After the tournament, he continued in Europe before moving to Major League Soccer in the United States, retiring in 2006 and remaining a respected presence in French football culture. Number 11 is Didier Deschamps, the captain. He was 29 in 1998 and at Juventus. He did not decorate the game with individual brilliance. He won the ball, organized the defensive structure, and made the players around him function. His nickname, given by Eric Cantona years earlier, was the water carrier. Deschamps treated it as a compliment. He lifted the World Cup as captain on the 12th of July 1998 and lifted Euro 2000 as a player 2 years later. He then guided France to the 2018 World Cup title as manager, one of only a handful of people in history to win the tournament as both a player and a manager. He reached the 2022 World Cup final as manager. He is currently leading France toward the 2026 World Cup, which he has confirmed will be his final tournament. The water carrier has spent a quarter century delivering trophies. Number 12 is Zinedine Zidane. He was 25 at the tournament. Born in Marseille to parents who had emigrated from Algeria, he had received a red card in the group stage against Saudi Arabia and served a suspension. He came back, and in the final, he headed a corner into the Brazilian net in the 27th minute. He headed in a second from another corner just before halftime. 2 goals, both headers, both from corners. Petit added the third. France won 3-0. Zidane was man of the match, awarded the Legion of Honor, and transformed from a famous footballer into a national symbol. He won the Ballon d'Or in 1998, 2000, and 2002. He moved to Real Madrid in 2001, won the Champions League in 2002, and his playing career ended at the 2006 World Cup final in a headbutt, a red card, and a long walk past the trophy. He returned as Real Madrid manager in 2016 and became the only manager in football history to win the Champions League in 3 consecutive seasons. He left in 2021 and has not managed since. He has spoken publicly about his desire to manage France. Multiple reports from credible football journalists suggest he is widely viewed as Deschamps' likely successor after the 2026 World Cup. This has not been officially confirmed by the French Football Federation and should be understood as reported but not yet announced. The man who headed 2 corners into the net on the night of the 12th of July is still waiting for his next chapter, and France is waiting for him. Number 13 is Robert Pires, the winger. 24 years old and at Metz in 1998, he featured in the Denmark group stage match as a squad contributor gathering experience. Arsenal signed him in 2000, and across 6 seasons he became one of the most elegant wide players in European football. 2 Premier League titles, the unbeaten Invincibles season, the Football Writers' Footballer of the Year in 2002. He played for Villarreal, Aston Villa, and finished his career in India with FC Goa in 2016, the last player from the 1998 squad to retire from professional football. He has since been involved in coaching at Arsenal and was announced in November 2024 as a manager in the Baller League 6-a-side format. Number 14 is Alain Bogosian, the defensive midfielder of Armenian descent, 27 years old and at Sampdoria. He featured in 5 of France's 7 matches, including coming on as a substitute in the final itself, and his stamina and intelligence made him one of Jacket's most reliable options from the bench. After winning the UEFA Cup with Parma in 1999 and retiring from playing in 2003, he became assistant coach of the French national team from 2008 to 2012. Number 15 is Emmanuel Petit, the midfielder who scored the goal that ended the World Cup final and made 2 kinds of history with it. Petit was 27 and at Arsenal, fresh from the English League and Cup double. Late in the final, with the match already won, he ran across the box and slotted calmly into the Brazilian net. That goal was the 1,000th in the history of the French Football Federation and the last World Cup final goal of the 20th century. After Barcelona and Chelsea, he retired in 2004. He has since worked as a pundit across French and English media and been involved in charitable work supporting children with life-threatening illnesses. Number 16 is Christian Karembeu, the midfielder from New Caledonia who publicly stated he would not sing the Marseillaise before matches, explaining that the anthem represented a France that had colonized his homeland. He was selected, play one at 27 and at Real Madrid. He won the Champions League in 1998 and again in 2000, and after retirement became involved in football development and humanitarian work. Number 17 is Christophe Dugarry, the forward and one of Zidane's oldest friends, having come through the Bordeaux Youth Academy together. Dugarry was 26 and at Marseille, he scored France's opening goal of the entire tournament against South Africa, the first shot in the whole summer. He earned 55 caps for France across his career. After retirement, he became a prominent and occasionally controversial figure in French football broadcasting, working for Canal Plus and SFR Media, known for outspoken opinions that kept him visible in the sport long after his playing days ended. Number 18 is Stéphane Gavark, the center forward who started the World Cup final. He was 27 and at Auxerre. Quick, physical, trusted by Jacket to lead the line in France's biggest match in history. He did not score across the 7 matches of the tournament, but his movement and pressing created space the midfield used constantly. After the final, he moved to Newcastle United, returned to France when the Premier League proved difficult, and retired in 2002. Available records suggest he returned to his home region and built a quiet life away from the spotlight. Number 19 is Thierry Henry, who was 20 years old when France lifted the trophy. He was France's leading scorer at the tournament with 3 goals. At 20, he was still forming, but a World Cup final at that age gave him something no training session could replicate. What followed belongs to the record of European football arsenal: 2 league titles, 3 FA Cups, the unbeaten season, a statue outside the Emirates Stadium. France's second all-time leading scorer in international football. He retired in 2014, moved into coaching, led the France Olympic team to a silver medal at the Paris 2024 Games, and has since joined the broadcast team for the 2026 World Cup. The 20-year-old who scored 3 goals in France's first World Cup is now preparing to analyze the next one. Number 20 is Bernard Diomede, the winger who was 24 at the tournament and featured in the Denmark group stage match without scoring. After the World Cup, he moved to Liverpool, found the Premier League more difficult than his arrival suggested, returned to France, and available records suggest he later moved into coaching and youth development work. Number 21 is David Trezeguet, who was 20 in 1998 at Monaco and sitting within the squad as a young talent being prepared rather than relied upon. 2 years later at Euro 2000, he scored the golden goal in the final against Italy, a left-foot volley inside the post that gave France their second consecutive major international title. He then spent a decade at Juventus as one of Serie A's most consistent scorers. After retiring from playing, he remained connected to Juventus through ambassador and institutional work. Number 22 is Bixent Lizarazu, the left-back who completed the defensive unit. He was 28 and at Bayern Munich, basked by heritage. He made 97 appearances for France and provided both defensive discipline and attacking energy across the entire tournament. After his playing career, he became one of the most visible former players from that generation in French football broadcasting, working regularly as a television analyst. He also won a European Jiu-Jitsu gold medal in the Blue Belt Senior Division in retirement. The left-back who helped concede only 2 goals in 7 matches built his next chapter in front of the camera. 22 players, 1 summer, 1 first World Cup title. Look at the range of where they went. A racing driver, an anti-racism author whose books are studied across Europe, a World Cup winning manager, a film actor, a pundit who filled French television with his opinions for 20 years, a coaching assistant who served the team he had once helped win the tournament, a man who walked quietly away from football and built a private life in his home region, and one player, the most famous of all, still waiting for the chapter that available reports suggest is coming. They all stood in or near the Stade de France on the 12th of July, 1998. They all belong to that night. The first star on the France shirt is shared among all 22, and nothing in the 28 years since has taken it away. Aimé Jacquet's team, the Golden Generation, the summer that changed French football forever, and the nearly 3 decades of different lives that quietly followed it. That is what a World Cup does. It gathers a generation for one moment. Then the years arrive and the players scatter in 22 different directions. But the summer stays exactly where they left it, fixed in the footage, alive in the memory, permanent.